And this has been happening. There's been buildings that have been constructed in places even such as Seattle, Washington, where people just dig out a lot. You know, they knock a building down, they start digging out the foundations to put in a new building. And as they're digging down, they find that the buildings next door have 1 or 2 floors below ground that they didn't know was there. You know, and it's not foundations, it's windows, it's doorways. You know, and we're finding this here in Australia, we're finding it in the United States, we're finding it in Europe, we're finding it in Russia, right across Europe, from Russia right down to Italy. So that's right across Europe, finding it in the Netherlands as well, where there's a whole layer below ground that people don't know is there. And it appears that something happened. We're calling it a mud flood, for want of a better word, but something happened which buried a lot of the civilization that we have now in at least 12 to 18 feet of soil. And then they simply paved new roads, put in new doorways, and pretended all that stuff wasn't there below ground, and they repopulated the world. And the civilization that we live in now is actually built on top, on the bones of a previous civilization, and we just simply moved in and took over their buildings, what was left of them, the stuff that was still left above ground. And you've got to wonder how many times this happened. And it seems like a freaky thing for people to even think of, but the fact is that the physical evidence is there. As I said, it's right around the world. So the question is, what caused it? This is where it kind of, you know, people start trying to pull it apart by saying, oh, you're saying this and you're saying that. Well, no, we're not actually saying anything. We don't know what caused it. A lot of people have put out speculation. Could it have been a solar minimum where the world froze over and the sludge that was left over from the thaw caused the mud flood? Could it have been seismic activity? And like I said, when you start going and looking for books as your source of information, well, who wrote the book? How do you know it to be true? And if you go and actually start looking around the world and using your eyes, you know, the world tells a very, very different story to what's been given to us in books, brother.